Even though community is important, I think that community without a border is even more important, a fluid community, because a community can also exclude, no? And I think that for me it's important based on my journey, on my experience, to try to include everyone. My name is Jabu Arnell. I was born on Sint Maarten in the Netherlands Antilles, the Dutch Caribbean. I came to the Netherlands as a teenager to further my studies, and after working for some years, I decided to go to the Rietveld Art Academy. For some reason, I'm attracted to material on the street, material that I see lying around in any given space. It could be on my job, or it could be in a garage of someone's home. It could be anywhere, but I'm attracted to material. And so I've had periods that I've been hoarding a lot of material, sometimes for a reason, sometimes for no reason at all. When the project at Melly started, I didn't have much time to gather materials. A friend called me up and just asked me if I needed huge boxes, and that's where it started. And on the street, I found like important pieces that I considered, material that I considered important. When I was at the Rietveld, I guess that's when I came up with the term conceptuitive, because of the way I realized that I work. I would have a concept, and there was a moment that I thought that in having a concept that the work was already dead. But then I realized that when I started to create the work, it became something totally different than what I had in mind, than the concept itself. That's when I realized and started to learn more about the intuition taking over. It works in many ways. I believe that once you get the ball rolling, I call it magic. The magic starts to happen. You start to just run into things that you just find nearly impossible, that you run into that. For Museum Nacht, we had an event, and I invited different artists to be part of the space. Marius Pantofletter, Masseur, and the artist based in Ghent, Nastio Mosquito, did an audio performance in the space. For me, it's important, this type of activation throughout my projects, because I think that activating the space on different occasions, you kind of create multiple communities. And for me, that's really important. The disco ball has always been something special and dear to me. I created the first one in 2009, and I named it Disco Ball number 1, which gave some kind of a feeling that a series was about to come out of it, and it indeed happened. We're at number 13 right now, and probably the last. I was thinking about this work, about Disco Ball number 13, and I mentioned it before that I went back to Disco Ball number 1, and I thought, 2009, my mom had just died. I went back from Sint Maarten to Amsterdam to finish the Rietveld. It was my last year at the Rietveld. And that's when I started to make the first disco balls. And so, like I said before, there was a lot of sadness in the work. I remember the professor at the time looking at me a bit worried. Is everything okay? And then to fast forward 16 years after the first one was made, and to see for myself that I'm not talking about sadness anymore, but about resilience. And then it was a couple of days ago that I was thinking about what can I say about Disco Ball number 13, and all I could think of was the word resilience. And I found something that really excited me, that the next day made me wake up like with ease, early in the morning, ready to go. It gave me an energy that I haven't had in a long time, an energy that I think a lot of people struggle with right now, with how the world is. And I also said to myself that in the worst case scenario, if someone comes to view Disco Ball number 13 or ever sees it wherever, and they say that, wow, this work is a hot mess, this work is terrible, it would still be Disco Ball 13 as a success because of it reflecting the times.